Okay, I don't know how to feel about this video today. I've got a whole mix of emotions. I'm sort of excited, but I'm sort of terrified, and let me show you why. Let me introduce you to the Bose Iron Factory JCM01 Zero Iron. Now this thing has 12 degrees, yes, 12 degrees of loft, precisely zero offset, and a top line you could cut yourself on. This is not for the faint-hearted. This Zero Iron was actually sent to me by master craftsman Falcon Mastabara, who founded the Bose Iron Factory in Japan, and they make some unbelievable products. He sent me a couple of other bits just to tease me. Take a look at these wedges. These are some of the most beautifully crafted wedges I've ever laid my eyes on. The shaping and the finish is just extraordinary, and it seems indicative of what they do at the Bose Iron Factory. So I put a link in the description down below to their website. Go and check out their products, you won't be disappointed. But we're not here to talk about wedges, we're going to try this Zero Iron. This isn't the first Zero Iron I've ever seen. John Daly actually had one in the bag at St Andrews in 1995 that Wilson made specifically for him for that golf course, but even that one had a slight cavity in the back to give him some help. Right, I can't put it off any longer. I'm going to charge up GCQuad, hit some away, get some numbers and see what it can do. Whoa, that's going to be interesting to see the numbers. In terms of the spec on this thing, as I said, it's got 12 degrees of loft, which is essentially a driver, or at a push, a really, really strong 3-wood, and it is long as well. They build this as standard at 42 3/4 inches, which is just 1/4 of an inch shy of a standard 3-wood. So this thing is really built for speed and distance. Well, I've already had a sneaky look at the data from those two swipes, so I'm going to hit a few more away and then going to take a closer look at the averages. Okay, so the numbers. Now these are really, really interesting, and I'm surprised in some ways and not surprised in others. The surprise was that I can actually hit this thing, I can get it off the floor and I can get it going. And that resulted in some pretty good average numbers for me. So I was getting an average ball speed of 152.8 miles per hour, launching at 9.5 degrees and spinning around the 3,000 mark, which is aggressive, but culminated in an average carry distance of 246 off the deck with a Zero Iron, which I'm actually quite pleased with. But it's how it got there that concerned me a little bit, and this is the bit that didn't surprise me, the slight lack of consistency. I wasn't getting much help if I missed the direct middle of this golf club, so my ball speed fluctuated quite a lot. My lowest ball speed here of 145.3 miles an hour versus my highest ball speed of 158.5. That's quite a big gap. And again, you can see that in the yardage. My shortest carry was 229 and my longest carry was 261. So over 30 yards of difference there. I'm just not sure that's that playable. I was unsure as to where to place this club as well, and I've never hit anything as long or anything as low lofted in an iron, but it seems to me I've hit a few 3-irons and I've hit a few 3-woods here. It seems to sit somewhere between the two, certainly from a yardage point of view and a ball speed point of view. Although, because of the makeup and the loft and the MOI situation, the spin is lower than both. So you can see from the numbers there, this thing's pretty adept at hitting stingers, low penetrating ball flights. But I want to see if this is just a one-trick pony. Can I manipulate that ball flight? Can I get it high? Can I go left to right? Can I go right to left? Let's go to the practice ground and find out. Right, so you join me here at a very blustery Churston practice ground, and as you can see from that ball flight that I've just hit, this thing, as we know, has no problem hitting that stinging low knuckleball, but I want to see if I can get this thing flighted up a bit. So I'm going to move the ball up in my stance a bit, sweep it away just a little bit more, and see if I can get that trajectory up. Okay, well, I think you can see from that I did clip that nicely. A nice high trajectory. I mean, it's helped by I'm coming into the wind, so the wind's buffeted it up a little bit, but I can certainly maneuver that more than I thought I could up. So let's see if I can now do it left to right and right to left. So So if you're enjoying learning about this zero iron, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and comment down below, how do you think you'd get on with this? Okay, well I think you can probably see from that, I'm not having too much trouble manoeuvring the ball left to right. Right to left was a bit more of a struggle, which you tend to see when there's less loft on a club. It did turn over, but it certainly wasn't as easy as cutting it. That's enough of the practice stuff. Let's get out on the course and see if this thing's good on a hole. Right, so I wanted to see what this thing can do out on a golf course, and I've given myself a pretty tough challenge if I'm honest. I'm here on the 5th hole at Churston Golf Club. It's a 550 yard par 5, playing straight into a very, very cold wind, and I'm going to play the entire hole with my zero iron and see if I can make a par. Right, well I found my ball, it was a good hit, I've turned it over a little bit. Bit disappointed to find it in some overhanging trees. However, this might actually be a really good chance to showcase what this zero iron can do. I've got to keep this really, really low and advance it as far as possible because I've still got about 300 plus yards to go. So this might be the tool for the job. Well, I got that absolutely perfect as I wanted it. Started really, really low, stayed under these branches, and I reckon even into this cold wind, I've got that about 220 up there, which I'm chuffed with from here. Okay, well, now is where the fun and games really start because I found myself here 139 yards away. Yes, I've got a very cold wind, but I've still got to take about 100 yards off this zero iron. I'm coming out of some rough here, although it's sitting well. It can be difficult to get enough club on ball when you've got such little loft. So let's see if I can manipulate something here. Well, I'm pretty chuffed with that. 139 yards, dead pin eye, I've left myself 10 foot up the hill for a birdie. Let's see putt. Would have been the greatest birdie of my life. Pretty chuffed with a 5 though. Well, that was a bit of fun. I hope you enjoyed that, and that would have been the best birdie of my life. And it was just a bit of fun. Obviously I wouldn't play an entire hole with the zero iron, but I hope it showed some of the versatility of this club. Hit a really nice tee shot, turned it over a little bit into the trees, but then it showed its metal with that low raking hook out of it. I even managed a 139 yard bump and run to 10 feet, and it very nearly holed the birdie putt. But the point of this is to see whether this might be a playable club. And first requirement you need, if you did think it was going to be a playable club, would be speed. If you haven't got speed, you're simply not going to get this club airborne. So that would be requirement number 1. But my conclusion really is it probably just is too high tariff. Although I thoroughly enjoyed hitting it, and off the centre it just feels like butter, the forgiveness and the lack of MOI would probably make it just too high tariff to me. But I do think there's merit in an iron of this loft somewhere. And this is a call out to the manufacturers out there. If you can make an iron of 11, 12 degrees of loft, but build in a bit more MOI and a bit more friendliness, I really think you might be onto something.